Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network, and welcome to the first race of the playoffs here in the Winter Challenge Series. We have had an exciting first 8 races, and now these final 3, we have reset the field. The standings have all been reset. Your top 10 drivers have been given an extra 300 points. Kristen Swanson has the most points heading into the chase for playoffs. He leads Anthony Danta, Derek Kraus, Trent Smith, Brian Tedeschi, Ryan Honeycutt, Corey Rogers, Joe Schaefer Jr., Brett McCoy, and Riley Stenjum. I guess there are 11 drivers in the chase. One tie. No, there is 10. Something with the way that was presented on screen. I think there may have been a glitch in there. I'm not sure. But these drivers qualifying right now. Preparing for tonight's 150 lap race. One driver who is really ready to get back into action is Derek Kraus. A winner twice this season. One of two-time winners. The other being Kristen Swanson, who took the victory at New Smyrna Speedway. Kraus trying to get some heat in the tires before qualifying. We'll get the times up on the left side of your screen. Currently at the top of the board, Justin Brooks holding the top spot. Very close gap in your top 10. Derek Kraus comes across the line. P5 for the number 9 machine. Kristen Swanson, your points leader, heading into the playoffs. Swanson, final time into 3 and 4. He's going to cut across the front straightaway to try and get the best lap. I don't know if it counted as second lap there. He will be 24th after qualifying. And Tristan Swanson going to go to the last chance qualifier. We're going to take the top 4. Here are your qualifying results. Justin Brooks fastest with an 18.4 flat. Your top 20 advanced in on time. And then the rest of the field will fight for 4 starting positions. 25 cars took time this evening. So one driver going to go home. We've got 5 of them lined up. Go racing for 15 laps. Michael Kirchner in the 156, gonna start on pole in the last chance qualifier. Then it's Rob Nelson in the 199 to his outside. Will Vess gonna start on the inside of row number 2 in the 71. Your points leader, Kristen Swanson, did not have a good qualifying effort. Gonna have to race his way in. He starts in a transfer spot, but he has to stay there in order to have a shot at things here tonight. Rounding out your starting field, gonna be Caleb Adrian, and I also see Trent Smith in the number 3 machine joining the grid as well. Ty Majeski, Josh Nelms not gonna make the call here tonight. We are just about ready to send things green for the first time here tonight. One driver looks like maybe getting EOL, Michael Kirchner, in the 156. We'll start this race from the rear. He was in a transfer spot. He'll have to do things the more difficult way. Field getting the 1-to-go signal this time. It will be Will Bess in the 71 bringing this to the green. For 15 laps, your top 4 make it in. To our 150 lap Wyle Raceway feature event here tonight. Pace car drops to the bottom side. It's in the hands of our flagman. Green flag is up. And we are underway for the first time here tonight. Top 4 go into our feature. Caleb Adrian wasting no time in the 29. He shoots to the inside of the 71 of Will Vess. Rob Nelson in the 199 going to lose a ton of spots on the top. Meanwhile, Tristan Swanson in the 91 trying to get the best starting spot possible for tonight's 150 lap main event. He drives down to the bottom. It's tough to pass here at Kern County. Looks like the 91 going to pull ahead. The 29 trying to cross over there, went down on the apron. 13 to go. It'll be 12 this time by. The lap's a little bit longer here at Kern. 18.7 that last time for Tristan Swanson. 18.5 right there across the line. This field going to have to really conserve tires here tonight. We're going to have a set in the pits, but it's going to be easy to heat up that right rear and lose track position. As Tristan Swanson currently holds a comfortable advantage. Will Bess in the 71. Spot, that's the final. Rob Nelson, Michael Kirchner trying to get to that final transfer spot. Right now, he does have some separation. Up front, Swanson continues to show the way. He's up in the second groove in turns 1 and 2, just trying things out. This is honestly good for him. He kind of gets an extra practice session compared to the rest of the field. But he's got 8 laps to go this time. No battle for the transfer spot as of yet. No, there's a spin down the back. Brent Smith in the 3 machine goes around. He was in a transfer position. And as I said that, the caution flag flies. Under caution for the first time. Looked like the 3 machine just looped it down the back straightaway. Look at that one more time. He was all by himself, running in the 3rd position. Just got the back end a little bit too far out of turn number 2 and went around. Very easy to do. The corners here at Kern are very deceptive. Very easy to put too much wheel in that car and have the rear end step out from underneath of you. Watch what happened one more time. Yeah, it looked like just didn't have a steady wheel through turn number 2. And around he went. And that's going to be the night for the number 3 machine. Tough break. Almost transferred in tonight. You have 5 to go here in the last chance qualifier. Rob Nelson now going to have to battle with Michael Kirchner for that final transfer spot. We'll see what happens here. We will go green in a couple laps. The rest of the chase going forward, we've got Iowa next week, 125 laps there. And then a 200 lapper to finish out the season at the Five Flag Speedway. That's going to be a fun race. There's going to be a lot of passing in that one. A lot of side-by-side racing. You're not going to want to miss that one. March 2nd, 2026. Hard to believe we are already through the entire regular season onto the chase here in the Winter Challenge Series. We are just about ready to finish up the last chance qualifier and get into tonight's main event. Kristen Swanson going to get a feel for how restarts are going to be tonight from the front, what the car is going to feel like firing off for those first 5 laps. Oftentimes the heat cycles in these cars really do change the way that this car drives, so we'll see what happens when we come back with 3 laps to go. Down into turns 1 and 2. Michael Kirchner in the 56 up into the outside wall. He'll lose that final transfer spot. Rob Nelson has moved his way into the field here. 2 laps to go. Up front, Tristan Swanson and Caleb Adrian have a big gap over 3rd place, and Caleb Adrian trying to steal one here. White flag, final time. Tristan Swanson in the 91 leads down into turn number 3. He'll leave a lane to the bottom, but he'll shut the door. Meanwhile, back behind him, battle for the transfer spot. It's going to be Tristan Swanson. And oh, Caleb Adrian in the 29. What happened there? This is coming to the checkered. What did the 29 do? Looked like he pulled aside. I did not see what happened. Unfortunately, the replay has been taken from me, but the 29 of Caleb Adrian led up across the line, and I think he's going to miss out on tonight's 150 lapper. These drivers get a final warm-up session before the 150 lap feature. Perfect time for everybody to take a quick step away, grab a drink, grab a snack, get dialed in for tonight's feature. And we're going to do the same thing here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Be right back in one moment with green flag action here from Kern County. Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Kern County Raceway Park, just about ready to go. Here is where we're at tonight. A D-shaped oval. The front stretch does have a very noticeable curve, which often does create a little bit of chaos. Some drivers don't quite want to go all the way out to the wall up on the exit of 4. You like to keep it tucked a little bit lower. But we'll see how it shakes up here tonight. There's plenty of room out there, a very wide racetrack in Bakersfield, California. Cool track temp tonight, 80 degrees. Under the lights at Kern. One of my favorite racetracks ever since it came out on iRacing. It always produces multi-groove racing. It is pretty tough to pass, but when you have a longer race like this, you do have the chance for everybody to get spread out, to put heat in the tires. But we'll see what happens. Justin Brooks, top of the board in this warm-up session as well. That 33 car, always a threat. Or sorry, hope that's Tanner Burge we're zoomed in on. Justin Brooks right there in the 33. Always a threat in late model stock competition. No surprise to see that car at the top of the board. The invert, I do believe, is an 8. So Justin Brooks going to be starting from the 4th row here tonight. We'll see how that shakes up for him. Is we throw the checkered flag on the warm-up, and the field will jump down to the starting grid. It is race time here in the Wyle Raceway 150. We will look at our starting lineup here, as the invert is an 8. That's going to allow Joe Schaefer Jr. in the number 6 machine to roll off from the point. It is outside. It's going to be the number 35 of Tanner Burge. Anthony Danta in the 51 going to roll off from the 3rd spot here tonight. He'll have 2-time winner this season, Derek Kraus, to his outside. Riley Stenjamin, the number 77, going to roll off from the 5th spot. It is outside. It'll be Brian Tedeschi in the 129. Starting from the 7th spot here tonight, it'll be Evan Hassler in the 38. It is outside your fast qualifier, Justin Brooks. Brooks in the 133, an 18.4 flat in qualifying. A quick lap here tonight. He'll start from the 8th spot. Row number 5 on the bottom, it's going to be Steele Langford in the 33. He'll have Ryan Honeycutt in the 128, starting 10th to his outside. Kendrick Cryer in the 66 machine, going to roll off from the 11th spot. And to his outside, rounding out your top 12 starters, it's going to be Clayton Story in the 67. Back to row number 7, it's going to be Jared Sutherland in the number 19, with Dylan Roberts in the 78 to his outside. Brett McCoy in the 15, or in the 1, going to roll off from the 15th spot. Then Eric White in the 06, going to start 16th here tonight. Row number 9 on the inside is going to be Eddie Dabrowski in the 29, or 029. And then Mitchell Rusinski in the 317, starting 18th. Rounding out your top 20 starters, it's going to be Austin Powers in the 998, and then Scott Kingswan in the 55. And your 4 last chance qualifier transfers will be Kristen Swanson, Will Vess, Rob Nelson, and Michael Kirchner. Joe Schaefer Jr. in the number 6 machine. Going to bring the field to the green. And through the restart zone they go. One car already jumping out of line. Thought that was Derek Kraus in the 9 machine. No, Kraus is up in the top. I think that was Steele Langford in the 33s. We've got one around out back. Michael Kirchner in the 56, and that will bring out the caution flag early on. First caution flag of the evening on the exit of turn number 2, and you can see the 56 machine with smoke coming out of the rear end. I think that is going to really hurt his night right from the get-go. Look at what happened. This is down into 1, the 56 up on the outside of the racetrack. I think just came down and got sideways there. I don't know if he got loose and couldn't save it, or if he was trying to pull down the track. I'm not sure what happened. We'll watch one more time on board. In the outside lane here, and I think just got sideways and could not gather it back up. And that puts us back under yellow. The first yellow of the evening. I'm trying to get to the live cam. I'm sure we're about to go back racing here. We're going to try it one more time. Yeah, for whatever reason here. Having trouble here, not sure what is going on, but they're back underway. Dustin Brooks in the 33 machine, I think, was sideways down the back. We're going to step aside for one moment, folks, and try and figure out what is going on with the timing and scoring. See if we can't get it back to live. Be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Ready to go racing. The caution flag flew for a big wreck down the back straightaway. Justin Brooks, your fast qualifier, got collected in it. We are going to go back racing. Joe Schaefer Jr. and Derek Kraus going to bring us back to the green on lap 10. Kraus dips behind Joe Schaefer Jr. in the number 6 machine down the back straightaway. Tanner Burge in the 35 to the inside. He looks underneath Riley Stenjum. Stenjum on the outside lane, going to get the run down the straightaway. Burge down low. Stenjum up top. Little contact through the center. .35 trying to use up a little bit more room in the center to cut down off the corner. Right now pulling slowly ahead of that 77 machine, but you can see Stenjum gains it all back down the straightaway. We've got trouble out back. Brett McCoy and your points leader, Tristan Swanson, in the 91 machine. They're slow down the back straightaway, but no caution flag. They continue to battle in the top 5 up front. Anthony Danton, the 51 machine, trying to work his way up through the field. Derek Kraus just barely down in front of Tanner Burge that time. That 35 machine really driving it in the corner, and he will clear Riley Stenjum that time. The 51 of Anthony Danta up the racetrack right there. Took that position away from Brian Tedeschi. Through turns 3 and 4. Oh, Danta sideways, and they're spinning down the front stretch. Deal Langford involved in the 33. Anthony Danta stopped on the bottom. And I think the 51 machine may have ran out of room on the top side. You can see the 51 through turns 3 and 4 got a little loose and came back. And then right there, as soon as he overcorrected a little bit, had to check up. Deal Langford had nowhere to go in the 33. This is on board with the 33 of Langford, and yeah, you can see a lot of throttle there. Still not really much he can do. You're coming off the corner, you don't expect them to stop right in front of you. I don't think he really had too much damage though, just went for a slide. And that puts us back under yellow here. We get back, or get ready to send them back racing. We're 20 laps into this 150 lapper. It says first caution up on the left side of our screen, but I believe this is actually our 4th. We had to restart the timing there. Field back, doubled up behind the iRacing.com pace car. We're going to send them back green. The 129 laps to go. Joe Schaefer Jr. has the advantage on the bottom. He will launch, and he goes nice and early out of turn number 4. He'll have a clear advantage over Derek Kraus down into turn number 1. They're side by side down the back straightaway. A little bit of door banging for the third spot. Once again, that's Tanner Burge and Riley Stenjum going at it. Stenjum in the 77 gets a big run down the front stretch. He doesn't really have anywhere to go with the 9 machine right up in front of him. Kind of stalling his run out down the straightaway. Burge in the 35. Started second in this race. Trying not to lose the third spot here. It definitely looks like the 77 of Stenjum has the advantage up top. This time by 25 laps in. I also just realized that I did not get the memo. We've got a 125 lapper here tonight, not 150. Somebody must not have paid attention. I think that was me. A little bit shorter of a race, which makes track position matter just that much more, especially when it's so tough to pass. You can see it even in these early laps. Right there, that's Tanner Burge to the inside of Kendrick Cryer. The 66 machine trying to get the run up on the top side, but unable to pull ahead just yet. A little bit further back, Kristen Swanson, who had that trouble down the back straightaway with Brett McCoy. We did not catch what happened. That 91 machine lost some time. That caution flag really saved him. He's going to be able to work his way back through the field. We're just 31 laps into this one. Still a long way to go. Up front, they continue to battle. Your top 10, all single file right there. Things beginning to settle down here as we are 33 laps into this one. Brian Tedeschi looks back to the bottom, and right as I say that, here comes Joe Schaefer Jr., or rather Derek Kraus to the inside of Joe Schaefer Jr. Takes the top spot away. Brian Tedeschi dips underneath Riley Stenjum. Two teammates battling for the third spot. Schaefer in the 6 machine up the racetrack. They're 3 wide down the backstretch, and they didn't know it. Trouble down the back. Brian Tedeschi in the 29 goes around. Kendrick Cryer went around there for a second, but he gathered it back up. He's able to pull away. Almost had a Natalie Decker moment right there. But Tedeschi with some front-end damage. We'll see what happened. Schaefer in the 6 went up the racetrack. Yeah, you can see the 29 on the bottom. I just don't think he knew they were 3 wide. We'll watch it one more time. Yeah, tough break. Tough break for the 66 of Kendrick Pryor, too. He really did not have anywhere to go. Got squeezed in the middle of that. Schaefer in the 6. I don't think he really had too much damage from that. Car seems to be all right. We are under caution once again. Just 37 laps in. Under 100 to go, though. The laps are going to go by quicker as we get closer to the end. You're not up in the top 5 when it's almost said and done. It's going to be tough to get up there. You've seen how tough passing is just early on. When you get later in the race, it's only going to be more difficult. Field gonna double up at the line. Kraus taking the outside lane. Riley Stenjum and Derek Kraus going to bring the field back to green. Kraus on the outside lane. Going to launch. And Riley Stenjum timed him up good there. Good run for the 77 down on the bottom. The 9 of Derek Kraus going to try to use the long way around on the back straightaway. And I think he will pull ahead out of turns 3 and 4. 40 laps in, leader is Derek Kraus. Now here comes Tanner Burge for second. I think Riley Stenjum is going to be able to get clear, though. Down the back straightaway, or down the front straightaway here. Steele Langford in the 33 trying to work his way back forward after that spin early on. Currently scored in the 8th spot. As, their door slamming up front. Clayton Story to the inside of Joe Schaefer, and Schaefer in the 6 machine makes contact with Tristan Swanson. Swanson went way up the racetrack and lost a ton of speed. He's got big time damage on the right side of that race car, and that is really going to hurt his chances here tonight. These late model stocks very dependent on aerodynamics. And when you have the car crumbled in a little bit like that, it makes it very tough to drive, especially later in the race. Get the right front a little hot. That car can become a nightmare very quickly. We look back up front, they are 3 wide down into turn number 3. That's Clayton Story on the inside, Evan Hassler in the 38 underneath Steele Langford. This is all happening behind your top 3, as it looks like that spot going to go to Hassler. They're all battling very hard here for these first 50 laps. 38 machine way up the racetrack that time. You can tell he was definitely trying to get clear of Steele Langford. He's going to muscle his way around. Langford going to dive back underneath. Battle for the 4th spot, but battle up front in front of them. Battle for 2nd. Tanner Burge to the inside. He's going to think about taking the lead underneath Derek Kraus. There's so many battles on the racetrack, it's hard to tell which one to even watch. Anthony Danta in the 51 underneath Eric White. White in the 6 machine started in the 16th spot up to the 8th position, trying to move his way forward on the outside. Up front, Tanner Burge loses a little bit of ground to your top 2. Derek Kraus going to get a little bit of a breather. The battle's still on for that 4th spot. Steele Langford back to the bottom underneath Evan Hassler. Trying to put some runs together here. You can get to somebody's inside pretty easily. Driving around them and getting the run off the corner is a completely different story. Here comes Clayton Story in the 67. Langford going to close the gap, and Clayton Story down into turn number 3. Looked like he got into the back of the 33 of Langford. Gave him a big shot, and that sent him around. We'll watch one more time. This is out of turn number 4, or down into turn number 3. You can see the 67 definitely aggressive down into the corner. We'll watch the lap before here. You can see him up the racetrack. 33 got back into line right there. And then just overshot the entry. 67 goes around. Joe Schaefer Jr. also goes for a spin, but he got it straightened back up. But under caution once again. Derek Kraus continues to show the way. We're 55 laps in. Still quite a ways to go. $70 laps remain. Still a long time here at Kern. Derek Kraus has continued to show the race, or show the way out front in the race lead. They will choose cross the line this time. Field getting ready to go back green here. Derek Kraus, your leader, chooses the bottom. Going to try to get a better launch in his last restart. As he fires, and we're back underway. Kraus in the 9 gets a good jump down into turn number 1. Riley Stenjum in the 77 back behind, and we've got trouble out back. Steele Langford in the 33 on that restart. This is the restart right here. Looked like got flipped by Scott Kingswan in the 55. That was a really chaotic restart. Everybody trying to get caught back up from the choose. Watch it one more time on board with Steele Langford. Try and get his view of this one. You can see him shoot up to the outside, and 55 just did not have enough room to the inside. Under caution again. I think that's the 7th of the race so far. Derek Kraus continues to show the way. At this rate, I don't think we're going to see your leaders come to pit road. I mean, there are quite a few drivers that have come to pit road, but at this point, you have not gotten the good out of the tires just yet. So it may be better to just stay out and wait for a long green flag run. We're just 60 laps in. Field once again going to choose Kraus back to the bottom lane. Hasn't taken that outside lane since that first restart that he started on the outside. Some tracks you're able to make that outside lane restart work. Kern, not one of them very often. Field going to do an extra pace lap here to let everybody get caught up. Kraus and Stenjum going to lead the field back to green. Tanner Burge in the 35 has fought hard for that third spot. Derek Kraus on the bottom, Riley Stenjum up top. Another launch out of 4. Good jump there from the 9 that time. He'll be clear of Riley Stenjum into turn number 1. And here comes Tanner Burge to the inside, and Burge in the 35 goes around. A couple of cars spun out of 2 in front of him. That's the 78 of Dylan Roberts that went around. But Tanner Burge in the 35, you could see him going down into turn number 1. Just trying to push the 77 out just a little bit. And it backfired on him. Car kind of stepped out from underneath of him. We'll watch what happened. This is down into 1. You can see the 35 make a little bit of contact, and as soon as that happens, he spins. The 77 shoots up the racetrack as well. But I don't think he lost nearly as many positions as the 35 did. Take a peek at what happened to Dylan Roberts in the 78. This was after the fact. Got turned. A couple drivers got on the brakes a little late there. Around the 78 went. Doesn't look like he has too much damage, but he is behind the pace car. So another caution here. 8 so far. Kraus likely going to choose the inside lane once again. They're giving him his restart practice. Pace car back to the inside. This time it'll be Kraus, Stenjum, Danta, and White, your top 4 through the restart zone. We are back underway. Derek Kraus gets a good launch into 1 and 2. Stenjum is clear for the 2nd spot. Eric White in the 6 machine up on the outside of Anthony Danta trying to take over 3rd. Outside lane has definitely been a little better on the restarts. You're just able to keep the momentum up. 51 of Danta trying to pull ahead on the bottom. I think he'll be clear this time out of 4. And he will set his sights on your top 2. We're past the halfway point in this one. These drivers are going to be more aggressive in getting to the front. Riley Stenjum trying to track down your race leader. Nearly identical lap times from the 2 that last time around. And now Derek Kraus on the outside lane. Riley Stenjum going to have an opportunity to look low here. Can the 77 take the lead on the bottom? Been tough on the inside so far. Looks like Kraus going to lead across the line. The 77 of Stenjum going to fall back out of line. Anthony Danta closes up right there. You can see as soon as Kraus and Stenjum were side by side, the gap to the 51 went away immediately. Danta to the inside. This time by 50 laps to go. 50 remain here at Kern. Derek Kraus trying to pick up his 3rd victory this season. His teammate back behind him would love to pick up a victory this season. Has not gotten one just yet. He's been close. He's shown a lot of speed like he is here tonight, but has not grabbed the checkered flag. He's in a good spot here. Inside of 50 to go. You just want to be close and put enough pressure on Derek Kraus where he may burn off his stuff, but you don't want to burn off your stuff. You want to save some tire for the end in case we get a late race restart or something of the sort. Laps in this time. Kraus continues to show the advantage. Back behind, Canterbury, Steele Langford, those 2 drivers both involved in incidents earlier on, trying to charge their way back up through the field. They're definitely going to need a caution if they want a shot at things here late. But definitely still some time for those 2. They're in a good spot on track if they do get a caution flag. Ryan Honeycutt in the 128, kind of sneaking up on this top 3. He approaches the back bumper of Anthony Danta. And caution flag is out. Austin Powers in the 45. Didn't see what happened. Not running on the lead lap. Looked like just got loose down into 1 and 2. See the car go around. We'll watch on board here. Just got a little loose, throttled it back up, and as soon as he gave it more gas, around it went. There was no saving that car. And that will put us under caution. That'll reset things for a lot of people, including our race leaders who have made a trip down pit road. Derek Kraus comes to pit road, and he will lose a couple spots, actually. Riley Stenjum, Anthony Danta, and Ryan Honeycutt all leapfrog him down pit road. And this will be a fun one to the end to see who is able to pick the right strategy. Your field gonna be reset. A different driver gonna be in charge for the first time in quite some time. Steele Langford gonna bring us to the green. Tanner Burge second, Evan Hassler third, Brian Tedeschi fourth, and Clayton Story going to round out your top 5. Coming to the green. Langford chooses the inside lane. Pace car drops to the bottom side into turn number 3 in the hands of the 33 of Steele Langford. He'll jump nice and early and to be clear of Tanner Burge down into turn number 1 and 2. But here comes Brian Tedeschi in the 129. Tedeschi to the inside underneath Tanner Burge. They're almost 3 wide out of turn number 4. And they are wrecking back behind him a couple cars around. Derek Kraus in the 9 machine. The driver who has led the most laps so far. Involved in that one. There's a bunch of cars collected up off of turn number 4. See what happened here. Look one more time. This is back behind the battle for the lead. Looked like Ryan Honeycutt got to the back bumper of the 77. That just caused a big stack up from there. A lot of drivers had nowhere to go. We'll watch it one more time. On board with Derek Kraus. You can see he tried to get slowed down, but got hit from behind. There was really nothing he could do. And man, that is the risk you take coming to pit road, giving up that track position. Had he not come to pit road, he'd not be in this accident there. So tough break for the 9 machine. But under caution here, just shy of 30 laps to go. We are back underway. Forgot the microphone was muted there, so apologize we missed the green. But Tedeschi takes the top spot away from Steele Langford. He got a good jump that last start, and it looks like he's got a lot of speed here late. We'll see if he can hold off. Langford still there to the inside. Langford in the 33 back to the bottom. Using up a little bit more space down the back straightaway. Trying to make that low lane work here, coming back to 29 laps to go, and he will make the low lane work. Langford shoots back out in front of Brian Tedeschi. Tedeschi going to go back to the second spot as the caution flag flies. Brett McCoy in the one machine going around. 11th caution flag. Let's see what happened here. Looked like the one of McCoy got tagged by Scott Kingswan going into turn number 1. One more look at it here. Yeah, it looked like the 55 just got in a little bit too hot and got into the one machine. And around he went. Under caution again. Langford lost the lead on that start, but got it right back from Brian Tedeschi. So definitely still some speed left in that 33 machine. And if he can keep his restarts, keep the gaps right, and not give up too much time to Brian Tedeschi, he could win for the first time this season. Or sorry, the second time this season. He is our most recent winner here in the Winter Challenge Series. Field gonna go back to green. Inside of 25 laps to go. Steele Langford, Brian Tedeschi, your top 2. Tanner Burge, Evan Hassler, row number 2. Go back green this time. Pace car to the inside. Langford in the 33 gets a good jump on the bottom. We're back underway with 24 laps to go. Good launch from Langford in the 33. He'll be clear down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, back behind, that's Tristan Swanson underneath Eddie Dabrowski. Riley Stenjum made it 3 wide right there. A little bit tighter than the 11 was willing to give. We've got cars sliding in turn number 3. That's Ryan Honeycutt on the inside lane. Looks like he's got it gathered back up, but going to lose a ton of time. Clayton Story in the 67 machine. Underneath, Tristan Swanson trying to take that 8th spot away. Unable to do so. We've got more cars banging doors down the back straightaway. That's Eddie Dabrowski in the 11. Riley Stenjum in the 77. 20 laps to go. Those two were all kinds of sideways down the backstretch. And once again, more contact going down the straightaway. Riley Stenham going to try the crossover move here. And a big lunge to the inside. He'll shoot back in front. Kristen Swanson now going to try to get around Riley Stenham. A lot of these drivers in the battle for points up in this top group. Right now, the best of them is Brian Tedeschi. Clayton Story in the 67 up into the outside wall there, loses a couple spots. Out of 4, he has fallen backwards since the drop of the green on that last restart. But out front, Steele Langford has a 0.7 of a second advantage. And looking at the lap times, Brian Tedeschi not necessarily tracking him down. A couple cars faster. But the ones right back behind him, he does have an advantage over. 14 to go for Steele Langford. Three wide down the back straightaway. Brian Honeycutt underneath Brett McCoy and Dylan Roberts. Honeycutt trying to move his way back through the field. Remember, he kind of got shuffled below the apron down into turn number 3, lost some positions. Back up inside the top 10, but hoping for a caution here in these final 12 laps. Up front, Anthony Danta closing in on the back bumper of Tanner Burge. 11 to go. The 35 machine starting to lose some of that drive up off the corner. You can see the 51 lunge to the inside. See if he can make that pass quickly here. Danta was one of the cars I was keeping my eye on. Starting to drive a little bit faster laps here towards the end of this one. He may have something left in the tank. We've got 10 laps to go, coming back to 9 at the line. Anthony Danta in the 51 up to the 3rd spot. He's going to set his sights on Brian Tedeschi here. That last lap, a 10th quicker than Steele Langford. And he's 0.8 back. It would take a tremendous effort from that 51 machine. But he may have a shot at the 2nd spot. 7 to go across the line for Steele Langford. Six laps at the line. 33 starting to get a little bit tight up off the corner, it looks like. That gap down to 0.3 of a second back to Brian Tedeschi. It'll be 5 laps to go this time. 5 to go for Steele Langford. You can see up out of turn number 4, the 33 machine losing time with that big run out to the wall. I think he's starting to get a little bit tight on the exit of the corner. You can really see the 29 close on the exit. We'll watch this time out of 4. 4 laps to go in the 33 of Langford into the outside wall. Pressure is going to be on here. Can Brian Tedeschi get there, and the caution flag gonna fly? Couple cars turned around. Didn't see what happened. Looked like Derek Kraus in the 9 machine. See what happened right here. Ryan Kraus way underneath Honeycutt in a big lunge right there. There may have been something that was happening after the fact. But a huge lunge to the inside from Kraus. Try and watch a couple laps prior. And here were these two battling. I think Honeycutt got to Kraus. Let's watch the full battle here. We can see the full story of what exactly happened. Looked like the 9 machine was trying to block. 28 lunged to the inside. And you can see Kraus drives right back to the bottom, all the way out to the wall. And that slide right there puts us under yellow. So now Steele Langford gonna have him re-racked, re-stacked. All that pressure that he had from Brian Tedeschi gonna be wiped off. He'll have a restart right here. He's been good on the restarts, so if he can execute this one, it'll be smooth sailing here in overtime. Green-white checkered. Langford gonna take the inside lane. Don't count out that 51 of Anthony Danta either. He's fast here in the end of this race. And we'll see what happens as the pace car is going to make the left turn down onto pit road one more time. Good launch from Langford in the 33. Good launch from Tedeschi in the 29 as well. Green flag is out. We're racing down into turns 1 and 2. Battle is on for the 3rd spot. Langford in the 33 is going to get out front for the race lead. Down the back straightaway they go. Tanner Burridge going to take that 3rd spot away. As we get the white flag, final time around Kern. They're going to race it back. They're wrecking back behind them. But all eyes on your top 3 into turn number 3. Steele Langford trying to pick up 2 in a row here at the Kern County Raceway Park, and he is going to win at Kern. Couple cars spun back around across the line. I think that was Eddie Dabrowski, a little bit unhappy with somebody or other. But we're just going to grab a word from our winner here tonight, Steele Langford. Congratulations to all of our top 3. Going to talk to our winner here tonight, Steele Langford, in the 33, second week in a row. Let's see if we can grab him in voice. We'll grab a word from our 2nd place finisher first. Brian Tedeschi, he is in there waiting on us here, and we'll see if we can't talk to him. Brian Tedeschi, 2nd place finisher here tonight. A chaotic one here at Kern. P2 just about had the run there. I think if the caution didn't come out there at the end, you may have had the victory.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely didn't need the caution at the end. Just really kind of had a sloppy race overall. But grateful to take home a second place finish and kind of keep championship hopes alive, especially with Tristan and Stenny and Kraus having a bad day.
Yeah, the chase really shakes things up in the end of the season, and this first race, I think, really shook things up to start off the chase. So it's going to be a fun next two races, but a great run for you here tonight to start off your chase run. Who do you have to thank for a second place finish here tonight?
Big thing is the guys in the posse, Steele, Ty, Joe, Riley, Derek, kind of all of us who hang out. It's definitely a busy time of year for us. A lot of us run Sarah full time. So granted, the fixed setup stuff is a reprieve, but just always grateful to have them in our corner.
Yeah, good run for you here tonight. We've got two races left this season. Do you think you have a shot at the title with some momentum going in?
Potentially. Iowa definitely will be a wild card, being a big track, especially if we do run the new version. I think that'll be definitely a wild card, and then I feel confident in Pensacola, so we'll see.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Brian Tedeschi, on your second place finish here tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, now we'll talk to our winner here tonight. Up in the broadcast booth, second win in a row in the Winter Challenge Series. Steele Langford, get a copy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Alrighty, well, two in a row here. You pitted early on tonight, lap 66, and kind of held back, waited, knew the hand that you had, and when Derek Kraus and the other cars at the front pit that gave you the race lead, I thought they were going to have a good shot coming up through the field, but unfortunately just did not go their way. It looked like Brian Tedeschi was very close in those final couple laps. That if that caution flag didn't come out, I don't know if I'd be talking to you right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you would either. The race didn't go to plan. I didn't get to pit. I didn't get to pit for any tires. I had the same tires all race, and that sort of didn't really play into our hand because I got in some earlier wrecks and was trying to fix damage, and then we had a bunch of cautions, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna stay out and run with the tires I got.
Yeah, sometimes.
So that didn't help there at the end. It was good, but then on that long green flag run, the tires were definitely better, but it worked out.
Yeah, you could tell towards the end of that, or towards the end of the race, we got those green flag laps. You fired off good, were able to get the jump over Tedeschi, but as soon as you got heat in the tires, he would start creeping up, and then right there at the end with about 5 to go, he started washing up out of 4, and I was like, man, this is going to be exciting, but the caution flag came out, maybe saved you a little bit there. You've been good in the restarts all night, and luckily you were able to secure the bag, pick up win number 2 in a row here in the Winter Challenge Series. How does it feel to win 2 in a row against such a competitive field week in, week out?
Yeah, it's pretty good to win 2 in a row, so I'm real happy with it, and just thank all my teammates. And it was a fun night. So we'll be back next week.
Yeah, we've got 2 races left this season. Iowa next week, a big track, kind of throws a wrench into things. How are you feeling going into that race? Can we go 3 in a row?
I don't know if we can, but we're gonna give it everything we got.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Steele, on your win here tonight, and we wish you luck throughout the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was your winner here tonight, Steele Langford. Grab our results up on screen for you guys. Got to do everything manually. For whatever reason, the scoring system did not cooperate with me here tonight, which is what a lot of the silence was from, so I do apologize. But race number 9, winner Steele Langford. Just talked to him up in the broadcast booth. Brian Tedeschi comes home 2nd. Tanner Burge in the 35 comes home P3. Riley Stenjum comes home 4th here this evening. Clayton Story rounds out your top 5. Scott Kingswan comes home 6th. Ryan Honeycutt 7th. Derek Kraus 8th. Dylan Roberts 9th, Brett McCoy 10th, Rob Nelson 11th, Mitchell Rusinski comes home 12th, Anthony Danta 13th, Tristan Swanson 14th, Eddie Dabrowski 15th, Evan Hassler comes home 16th, Hendrik Cryer 17th, Eric White 18th, Jared Sutherland 19th, Austin Powers rounds out your top 20, and rounding out our field back behind is Joe Schaefer Jr., Justin Brooks, Will Vess, and Michael Kirchner. So we have got 2 races left this season. It'll be Iowa next week, and then 5 flags, 200 lapper to round things off. That'll be a fun race. 200 laps, going to be a lot of tire saving in that one. A lot of lead changes, I'm predicting, so we'll see what happens there. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Winter Challenge Series. We'll see you guys back tomorrow night for the Leave the Pack Super Series return at the Oxford Plains Speedway. So tune in there. But thank you guys for watching one more time. I am your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. See you guys next time on the WD Broadcasting Network. Have a good night.